Greetings, everybody. Welcome into Mining Stock Daily. Once again, we've got a corporate update from Ridgeline Minerals. They trade on the Venture Exchange with RDG and on the OTCQB with RDGMF. Happy to welcome in Chad Peters, CEO of the company. Hey, Chad, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me, bud.
You have added on to your exploration claims at the Big Blue project. Big Blue is a basically 100% explored, operated, licensed under Ridgeline Minerals. You're adding to this, totaling now over 10,000 acres or 41 square kilometers of Big Blue. What are you seeing here to make you want to go add to this already big package? What's going on?
It's pretty big, right?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Well, I mean, porphyries are as big as they get, right? As far as targets, as targets go, I mean, there's nothing bigger than trying to find a porphyry. And so you want to make sure you have the land secured ahead of time. What we've been able to do is, we acquired the original core land package around the old Delker mine and then extended that out towards our neighbors, Reyna Silver, with their Medicine Springs CRD. At that time, we originally felt that we had, the main structural corridor that connected the two projects. Now what we've been able to do is we actually announced on the 24th of August, we announced that we acquired for free a really large data set, kind of a regional data set that covered Big Blue and kind of the surrounding area. And what that highlighted was some really exciting geophysical anomalies, right? Both magnetics, gravity, that showed that the potential porphyry source that we've been kind of theorizing is somewhere out in the valley, was just directly northwest of the mine, the old Delker mine. So that ground was open. We used that information to stake that ground, added it to the land package. We now have what we consider the full spectrum of porphyry all the way to CRD targets on the project. And I think we've got it to a point where it's a very exciting conceptual exploration play at this point.
You did add those graphics into the news release here, both the magnetics and the residual gravity. Chad, these conversations always love to ask you, can you be simple with us? Because most of us are not geophysicists. So what are we looking at in these two graphs, in these two images?
Well, I'm good at simple, so for better or worse. So really what I think got us excited originally is, you can get 10 geophysicists in a room and you're going to get 10 different interpretations of that data, right? So it is by far, definitive that there's a porphyry sitting there. But what we really like is we see a really, really responsive mag high, right? Which suggests, you could have a porphyry or a big intrusive body sitting down at depth. We also know for a fact that the Delker mine has a very similar intensity mag high directly beneath it. And we know that there is, felsic intrusions plumbing up into that mine. So there are similarities between that deep, new kind of anomaly that we just staked, and the much bigger anomaly that we think might be the actual porphyry core. And then what we see at Delker shows a similar response, albeit a little bit smaller, right? It's 1 kilometer long by 1 kilometer wide, whereas the one that we just staked is multi-kilometers in scale. So we see a similar anomaly in both, which suggests, okay, these things could be related. And then the gravity overlying as well shows kind of coincident anomalies, if you want to call it that. So the gravity is more of a measure of density, so just how dense the rock is. So you're seeing contrast between what, in the same shape as that mag high, you see a circular gravity high as well, which could suggest, okay, you're seeing something that is a little denser sitting in the middle of that gravity high, which again could be that porphyry source. So we like what we see. We're seeing, you layer that geophysical data and you're still seeing that kind of bullseye right there. So it was a no-brainer to stake the ground. Cost us nothing but time and the staking fees. So I think it's a big win for us.
Yeah, I mean, this is not just staking. I mean, Delker does have historic data on, but no modern exploration work. I mean, we're talking historic data. We're talking early 1900s. In fact, you made sure you add this in the news release. That mine produced just over 94,000 pounds of copper at an average grade of 6.2% copper, just in those 2 years. So in 2 years, that's pretty. That's pretty good grade and a lot of copper. But okay, so nothing's really been done on this land package since.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that really got us excited. I mean, I think something we've done well as a company is we've done a good job of identifying, call it historic opportunities, areas that historically were owned by the Newmonts, the Barricks, the Kinrosses of the world, whether it be our Swift or our Carlin East projects, which are now in Nevada Gold Mines' hands. We've done a good job of I think, kind of seeing through some of the old work that was done, which a lot of times wasn't focused on going after what we are, right? So, for example, we believe that Newmont back in the day was probably looking for a big, huge open pit copper deposit, and that is not what this is. It's buried under the shallow, 700-800 feet of gravels in the valley, right? So whatever was plumbing all that copper up into the Delker mine, it is not easily accessible. You're not going to open pit it. So things like that, that wouldn't be of interest to some of these big guys that were looking at it in the previously. So we can use that data, kind of see through and kind of take away some of that bias. And we've been able to, I think, do a good job of developing kind of good conceptual models that are of interest to big companies. So we're doing the same thing here at Big Blue. The only difference here is I really like this project. Our team loves this project. And so far, we're planning on exploring this ourselves. So we'll see where it goes.
I mean, you run a tight ship as a company. It's not a big company, a few full-time employees, but this is a huge land package, Chad. It's much bigger than your flagship, Selena. So how do you balance this out with the number of boots you actually have there?
Well, the one thing that we have going for us is this data package. So usually it takes, almost a full field season, to reacquire the data set that we got for free. It's about $2 million, right? We don't have to spend that money now. We don't have any work commitments. We don't have any lease payments on this project. We only have to support the BLM claim fees. So this project is actually one of our lowest cost projects in the portfolio at the end of the day. Because we have this data set, we can be a lot more aggressive, and we don't have to spend a lot of that very time-consuming boots on the ground work. So we're going to let Reyna Silver keep drilling on their side of the project. They're actually drilling right now in between the Golden Pipe Mine, which is an old silver lead zinc mine that's directly on trend of the Delker mine. They're about 6 kilometers apart. They're drilling on their side of the project right now. We're excited to see what they come up with. We can, I think, add a lot of value by taking what they always do a good job of showing the geology on their sections, their work. We'll take that, we'll apply it to the Big Blue model. Hopefully it makes us that much more effective in targeting, and we'd have to raise more cash to drill it next year. But there's not a lot of, small team, like you said, we don't have to put a lot of time or money into making this a drill ready target.
Yeah. So what's next here at Big Blue? What's going to happen? What are we going to see?
I think we're going to see news out of Reyna Silver, which is obviously an indirect thing. We're not doing anything, right? But I want to see what they drill. And we're going to keep on building out the model. We have some pretty, there's, thousands of data points we got in that data set. I can't put every single one of them into a press release. So we're building out the geologic model. There will be more updates. We're going to be reprocessing all of our geophysics. That's a relatively low cost thing that we can do, that we have a group we really like out of Canada that'll reprocess that data for us with a bit more of a pore-free slant to it. They can actually kind of modify their geophysical processing to kind of lean towards a pore-free model. So we'll do a few things like that, refine the model, and I hope that next year we're drilling this thing in the spring.
Okay, that'd be great. Quick update from Selena. Drilling is ongoing. It sounds like there have been some challenges there. Just in return to the equipment.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, the rock's been cooperating just fine, but we have had some mechanical delays, which just slowed us down. I mean, it's kind of, you ask any company, it happens, right? So, drilling's going well when we are drilling. Rig's back up and running now, and fingers crossed, is running well. So I'm hoping to have the program done early October, and we'll have results trickling out in September all the way through into November, probably.
Okay, very good. Chad, we will see you next week. Safe travels to you. Thanks so much for the update. And Big Blue, you're going to have your hands full. That's a big project. So
yeah, we'll see what comes from it, but we're excited. So
all right, everybody. That's your update from Ridgeline Minerals, again trading on the Venture Exchange with RDG.